Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
Rain and cold temperatures couldn't keep Vinton County residents away from a ceremony 3 years in the making. Good evening, I'm Lily Bradley. Thanks for joining us. WOUB reporter Marisa Oberle was there and joins us live in the newsroom with more. Marisa?
Grocery store. This morning, local and state officials broke ground at the store site. I talked to residents and they said they're all ready to bring fresh food back to the area. Fresh meat, produce, and dairy is coming back to Vinton County.
I want to congratulate everybody in Vinton County on what today means. It's a real new beginning. It's a beginning that will bring healthy food back to Vinton County.
3 years ago, the county's only grocery store checked out, meaning people like Vinton County resident Rhoda Price have had to make choices about things most of us just take for granted.
Like, how would you like to drive 10 miles one way at least? And I found out today some of them are going 25 miles. One way to get one of these to eat and enjoy, or do you want to stay home and take potassium tablets?
But starting in August, residents won't be forced to make those decisions anymore. Campbell's Market plans to open a 12,000 square foot store next to Vinton County High School. And Vinton County residents like Price are excited.
I think people are going to band together again because they've been really upset over the last few years since we've had to close the other. We have some other new businesses coming in, and I think Vinton County's coming back to life.
The Finance Fund Capital Corporation is providing Campbell's with a $1.5 million grant. While this provides the capital, Rick Campbell Jr., co-owner of Campbell's Market, says the project would be nothing without the support of the community.
To make this store successful, we need the support of the local community. And that was one reason we looked into opening this store, is the outpouring support of the local community. We felt just right at home, so we know it's going to be a very successful store.
Now, in addition, Campbell's plans to hire 30 employees from the area. And in addition, the new store will will accept SNAP and WIC food benefits.
Thanks, Marisa. The city of Athens is helping Ohio Health O'Bleness Hospital buy a forensics machine to more effectively examine sexual assault patients. The machine, called a colposcope, costs $16,000 and is especially useful in instances of child sexual abuse cases. It primarily means only one examination is needed, with only one examiner in the room. Now, at their meeting tonight, Athens City Council will vote to donate $500 from the Law Enforcement Trust Fund.
Need to be better educated, better informed, and also to aid people who might be the victims of sexual assault. And so I think there's more attention being paid to that kind of thing. And so the need probably came forward that would really help O'Bleness Hospital to have that piece of equipment.
According to Nisley, Athens County Prosecutor Keller Blackburn is leading the fundraising process for the machine. Main Street in Pomeroy is open today after a rock slide closed the road last Friday. The rock slide happened near the Bridge of Honor. ODOT says that crews have been working night and day since the slide to help get that street safe for traffic.
From the Newswatch Weather Center, I'm forecaster Ethan Emery, and happy first day of spring. Yes, it's the first day of spring equinox, and what a fitting picture, sent in from viewer Trevor Siders from Circleville, Ohio. This photo is from the A.M. Marion State Park, and you can see that spring lily there. It's beginning to grow and around some of the dead leaves, and a sure sign that spring is coming. And if you have any photos, please submit them. You can either tweet them at me, at Ethan Emery WX, or you can Facebook or tweet at WOUB, and make sure you do show the location and the source of the photo. We'd love to have them out here on WOUB, and you will be on the air. Temperatures right now across the region are beginning to fall because of some rain over to our west. 50 degrees here in Athens, 47 in Columbus, and 54 degrees down in Ironton. And overnight tonight, those storms will be moving through the area. 8 p.m., 90% chance, and then by midnight, those storms should be out of the area. And then with cloudy skies for the rest of your night. Back to you, Lily.
Thanks, Ethan. Republican U.S. Representative Jim Renacci has entered the 2018 Ohio governor's race. The 58-year-old calls himself a political outsider alongside 3 Republicans who spent their careers in public office. Now, Renacci has served in Congress since 2011, but before that, he was a longtime entrepreneur. In addition to the 4 Republicans running, 3 Democrats have also entered the race. All are vying to replace Republican Governor John Kasich, who must vacate this office due to term limits. Drug overdoses in Hamilton County, Ohio are going back down after a sudden surge over the weekend. But public health officials are still concerned. Roseanne Argon reports.
The last 48 hours, the number of overdoses have caused public health officials to worry.
36 that we saw since 1 o'clock this morning was about twice the normal amount, which certainly causes us concern.
So we followed police and fire on some of their runs. That's where we met Sergeant Brad White. In the last 48 hours, we asked how many runs he's been on.
Probably about 20.
In fact, he was at one. I saw this man come back to life. We were there when the fire department administered Narcan to revive him.
According to his friend who called us, she came upon him and was trying to get him to the drop-in center, and he had collapsed and had just used. So we used the Narcan on him along with fire and got him back.
Hamilton County's numbers 36 overdoses in 24 hours and even more today. Only 9 on your side followed police and fire to see the epidemic firsthand. Here at Race and Glass, Narcan was used to revive a man. At this McDonald's on Reading, another suspected case. Then we went to Ludlow Avenue for another overdose run. And then the 7th Street overdose. Real people, real consequences.
That there is something going on in the drug supply.
Something's hit the streets in the last week or so that is just, it's highly toxic. It seems like pretty much everyone who's using it is going under.
But while police and fire stock up on Narcan and work to get the crime off the streets, they're frustrated.
We're bringing out resources and bringing them back, but we're not getting a whole lot of cooperation.
Their priority?
To get the dealers off the streets. You know, people are fallible, they'll make mistakes, but people who are selling that stuff, they're the people we really need to address.
Now, after that man was revived, he told me that those drugs are just so addicting, they can ruin lives. Police tell me cooperation and giving information is the best way that people can help them solve this epidemic. They're asking anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers. Reporting Roseanne Aragon, 9 on your side.
A warning from Hamilton County Public Health says hospitals, emergency personnel, and families of addicts should carry Narcan and be prepared to use it when necessary. Also, to use necessary personal protective equipment. When can the American public expect to see a full Supreme Court? The latest on Senate hearings for Trump nominee Neil Gorsuch. And today, FBI Director James Comey testified on Russia's influence in the 2016 election. That, plus the latest information on the White House's unfound claims of a Trump wiretap. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere. Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, this is it. And she said, the tour's just started. I said, no, you don't understand. This is it.
My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Today kicks off a blockbuster week on Capitol Hill. Several major events will test the mettle of the GOP majority and their relationship with the Trump White House. Lawmakers are hearing testimony on Russia's influence in the U.S. election, while confirmation hearings kick off for Trump's Supreme Court pick. Kristen Holmes is on Capitol Hill with more.
I have no information that supports those tweets.
With just 8 words, FBI Director James Comey delivering a major blow to President Trump, debunking the president's claim that Trump Tower was wiretapped by then-President Obama during the 2016 campaign. The White House avoiding a direct response this afternoon.
There's a lot of information that still needs to be discussed.
Comey's testimony to the House Intelligence Committee delivering more bad news to the administration, confirming for the first time the FBI is investigating Russia's meddling in the U.S. election and collusion.
That includes investigating the nature of any links between individuals associated with the Trump campaign and the Russian government.
The White House continuing to deny these accusations.
Senior Obama intelligence officials have gone on record to confirm that there is no evidence of a Trump-Russia collusion.
The House hearing overshadowing what should have been a major moment for the Trump administration, the Senate confirmation hearing for Supreme Court pick Neil Gorsuch. Some Democrats opening by venting their anger over Republicans' blocking of former President Obama's nominee, Merrick Garland, last year.
Unfortunately, due to unprecedented treatment, Judge Garland was denied a hearing.
On Capitol Hill, I'm Kristen Holmes.
Despite Comey's admission that he has no information to support allegations that Obama wiretapped the president, the White House continues to stand by the claim. And more on Gorsuch's hearing, he could be in for several days of intense questioning before the Senate Judiciary Committee. The president tapped the Colorado appellate judge to replace the late Antonin Scalia. The full Senate is expected to vote on his nomination next month. And the world's oldest billionaire has died. A family spokesman said that David Rockefeller died Monday of congestive heart failure. He was the last remaining grandchild of John D. Rockefeller, who founded Standard Oil. According to Forbes, David Rockefeller was worth $3.3 billion. Rockefeller was 101 years old. He's survived by 5 children, 10 grandchildren, and 10 great-grandchildren. On Wall Street today, S&P fell as investors worried that the president's tax plan could take longer than expected. Here's a look at stocks of local interest. Millfest kicked off fest season here in Athens. Coming up, we've got the details on how a student group worked to decrease the number of arrests. That story is still ahead.
And storms are rolling through the area as we speak right now, which could bring some nice warmer weather. All of that and more on my extended forecast.
Professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere. Bobcat Pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, "This is it." And she said, "The tour's just started." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is it."
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home.
From the Newswatch Weather Center, I'm forecaster Ethan Emery. And if you excuse me behind me, there's a technical difficulty going on behind the green screen here. But current temperatures right now in the Athens region are around 50 degrees, and there's some rain moving across the area as we speak, especially for Columbus and Chillicothe areas, which are seeing some thunderstorms, and in fact is bringing in some flood advisories for some of those areas. Now, across the region right now, temperatures are still around the mid to lower 50s. This graphic does not show the accurate temperatures. As we go forward, I'll show you those in just a moment. And those temperatures across the region are probably in the mid 50s to, or actually lower 50s, into the mid to upper 40s. And with those temperatures, we should see them decrease overnight tonight as those thunderstorms will be moving out of the area over around midnight hours. And then by around 1 or 2 in the morning, we see temperatures begin to decline and then fall down to a low around 42 degrees for our morning low. And at the bus stop tomorrow morning, I have temperatures around 44 degrees. Winds should be out of the east to north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Nothing too bad for the kids out going out to school, so it should be anything for jacket or anything like that necessary. And for tomorrow, the high I have for 59 degrees with mostly cloudy skies, and maybe a peak of sun going on for Tuesday late in the afternoon and evening hours. And then most parts of the region tomorrow might hit some 60 degrees, maybe in Columbus, maybe in Ironton, or perhaps maybe places like New Martinsville. And then as we go forward in time, we see Wednesday, I have a high of 42 degrees. It'll be a little bit cooler. And these temperatures are all in part because there's a low pressure moving through the area on the day on Tuesday, or actually, excuse me, for tonight into Tuesday. And it's just going to bring in some warmer temperatures for tomorrow. And then Wednesday, a bit cooler as a weak cold front moves through the area. I have a high of 42 for Wednesday. And then beautiful sunshine in on Thursday, 54 degrees. And then a disturbance might be moving through the area on Friday, high 65 degrees. And then for your weekend, I do expect some rain to move in across the region. But with that, we do see warmer temperatures. 66 degrees on Saturday for the Meteorology Symposium going on for weather nerds like myself. That's going on Saturday. And then Sunday, 57 degrees. I have a chance of 60% chance of thunderstorm activity. And then by Monday, 67 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Not too bad of a standard forecast. It actually looks like spring. What do you think, Lily?
Hopefully that spring will stick around. Thanks, Ethan. Millfest kicked off the series of unauthorized block parties over the weekend. Around 10 a.m., partygoers gathered on Mill Street and started their day. Now, the police shut down several parties in both front and backyards because of loud music and littering. As a result of the day, the police charged 18 people with alcohol-related offenses. 24 people were arrested, also primarily because of alcohol-related offenses. 2 of the arrested were taken to jail. Athens Deputy Service Safety Director Ron Lucas says during every spring festival, dozens of people get arrested. To reduce that, Lucas has been walking around Mill Street to give students hints on how to avoid problems.
Know who's at your party. I think that's important. So knowing who's there, keep your yards cleaned up, and keep your party safe. You know, and there's a lot of things there. Don't let people drink that should not be drinking. Don't let people get violent in your house. And we have a lot of police officers out here that can support you and help you out if you need to.
2 people were transported by Athens County Emergency Medical Services to Ohio Oblenis Hospital for alcohol-related symptoms. Athens Fire Department was not required. And while arrest numbers didn't change, Ohio University's Student Senate started a program to help cut down on a specific charge. WUB's Allison Gens was out on Mill Street to find out if it really worked.
Chilly weather didn't stop partygoers from making the climb up and down Mill Street for this year's Mill Fest. The party started around 8:30 in the morning, an earlier start than past years. But even with an early start, arrest numbers stayed the same. 24 people were arrested during the weekend's festivities, the same number as last year. But even though arrest numbers were unchanged, there was something different this year. OU Student Senate started a program to help student tenants pay for porta potties at their parties and try to cut down on public urination citations.
We figured that if we can provide a program for them to cut down on public indecency and public urination, that fest will be well received-ish. So we started this semester with a porta potty initiative.
What this initiative does is reimburse half the cost of renting the porta potties as long as they're returned in good condition afterwards. 3 tenants rented 5 porta potties for Millfest. Lucas Ashmeyer is one of the tenants who took part in the rental program. He says renting it helped cut down on damage to his house.
Our bathroom didn't get ruined because during Halloween people are oh it's a house, but real people don't live here, so they'll throw stuff everywhere. But then if they have a porta potty, it's kind of go in, do what they gotta do, and get out, so it's better for everyone.
Student Senate Chief of Staff Lama says this is only a 1-year program, but he hopes it sets an example for future years.
Hopefully that next year people will be do you remember so-and-so had a porta potty? Wonder how we can do that. They already have the information. We'll give it to their landlord, how to go through it, and then they will do it on their own, and we don't need to reimburse them anymore.
There are 16 more porta potties that Student Senate can help fund between the last 2 fests, High and Palmer. Reporting for Newswatch at noon, I'm Allison Gens.
Now, more fests are scheduled for the next few weekends until the end of April, although Millfest is usually the largest.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Joseph Payton. Coming up in sports, we'll talk about the Ohio baseball team's first series at home in Athens against the Siena Saints. And also, the Waterford Lady Wildcats appeared in the Division IV state championship game for the 3rd year in a row. All that and more coming up after the break on Newswatch. But stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, "This is it." And she said, "The tour's just started." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is it."
Welcome back. I'm Joseph Payton. Well, on Saturday, the Waterford Lady Wildcats made their third straight appearance in the state title game. These girls, they're no stranger to the big stage, and they know just what it takes to win a ring. However, their efforts fell short this time around as Berlin Highland captured the Division IV state championship by beating Waterford 61-41. Allie Kern, she was Waterford's high point scorer with 17 points and 10 rebounds, and Megan Ball added 9 points. Despite the loss, 3 straight appearances in the state final, including last year's state championship win, is definitely something they can be proud of. And over in Division II, on the boys' side, the Vinton County Vikings were fighting for a spot in the state Final Four against the Eastmoor Academy Warriors on Saturday. The Vikings' incredible season came to an end as the Warriors won the regional championship 69-48 and earned a spot in the Final Four. Vinton County, they finished the season with a 24-3 overall record, a TVC Ohio championship, a district championship, and as regional runner-up. And now that high school basketball has ended for local teams, let's talk about some postseason accolades. Alexander's Leah Richardson was named First Team All-Ohio as well as District Player of the Year in Division III. She finishes her career as the all-time leading scorer in Alexander basketball history and is arguably one of the best to ever suit up in a Spartan uniform. Well, today's the first day of spring, and springtime is usually synonymous with baseball season. And the Bobcat baseball team, they were in town for their first home series of the season this past weekend. The Siena Saints, they were in town for it, a doubleheader on Saturday with the Cats and also for a game on Sunday with the Cats. The two teams split the doubleheader on Saturday, which set up a rubber match on Sunday, which the Bobcats won 6-4 to take the series. The Bobcats now welcome the Morehead State Eagles tomorrow night at Bob Wren Stadium, and first pitch is scheduled for 6 o'clock. And Ohio softball went undefeated in 5 games this past weekend, improving their record to 19-6. It all started with a 3-2 win over USC upstate, and then the Cats went 4-0 in the College of Charleston tournament thanks to stellar pitching performances by Savannah Jo Dorsey and Danielle Stein. Mid-American Conference play begins this Friday when the Bobcats take on the Toledo Rockets. Moving to Ohio basketball now, one current Bobcat will not be in an Ohio uniform next season. According to his father, Rodney Culver will be transferring this offseason. However, it has not been specified where he will play basketball next year. Culver, he saw action in all 31 games this season. He averaged just over 2 points per game. He shot 45% from the field, and he pulled down 1 rebound per game. He was behind Jordan Dardis, Gavin Block, and Mike Laster in the rotation. And with the first 2 rounds of games completed in the NCAA tournament, one team from the state of Ohio remains. The 11 seed Xavier Musketeers upset 3 seed Florida State on Saturday to earn a spot in the Sweet 16, where they will face Arizona on Thursday night. In the win against Florida State, Trayvon Blewett went off for 29 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. Blewett, he's been hot all tournament long, and I think if he can continue to play at a high level, the Musketeers, they'll be a hard out in the tournament moving forward. All right, I'm Joseph Payton. That's all I've got for sports. Back over to you, Ethan.
Thank you, Joseph. Tonight, temperatures will be around 42 degrees with the thunderstorms moving across the area as they are right now. But overnight tonight, it should be mostly cloudy skies. Winds out of the east at 0 to 5 miles per hour. And then for the bus stop tomorrow morning for your kids going out to school, mostly cloudy skies, 44 degrees. Pretty mild start for this time of year. And then for tomorrow's high, 59 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Mild temperatures and those winds will be out of the north. So it most definitely feels like spring for this time of year. And we have temperatures at Tuesday, 59, and then Wednesday a little bit cooler at 42 degrees, and then a big warm-up on the way for the weekend, as highs should be in the mid to upper 60s for your Friday and Saturday.
Thanks, Ethan. That does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Lily Bradley. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at woub.org. Have a great night.